Notice is hereby given of the regular meeting of the Board of Education of the Town of Westfield in the County of Union, New Jersey at 7:30 p.m. on the evening of Thursday, January 5th, 2017 in the Westfield High School Auditorium, 550 Dorian Road, Westfield, New Jersey. The purpose of the meeting is to transact the regular business of the board and to transact any other business to come properly before the board. This is to advise the general public and to instruct that it be recorded in the minutes that in compliance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, entitled the Open Public Meetings Act, the Westfield School Board on Thursday, December 29, 2016, caused to be posted at the office of the Board of Education located at 302 Elm Street, Westfield, New Jersey, and delivered to the Westfield Leader, the Star Ledger, the Westfield Library, Town Clerk of Westfield, Tap Into Westfield, and Patch.com, a meeting notice setting forth the time, date, and location of this meeting. Please stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At the annual election held on November 8, 2016, Michael Beelan, Brendan Galligan, and Amy Root were all elected for a 3-year term. Just prior to this meeting, they were sworn in, and congratulations to all three of you on your election. The next item on the agenda is a roll call. Mike Beelan?
Here.
Mark Friedman?
Here.
Brendan Galligan?
Here.
Rob Garrison?
Here.
Chris Langhart? Gretchen Olig?
Here.
Peggy Oster?
Here.
Charles Ostroff? and Amy Root.
Here.
The next item on the agenda is the nomination for the office of the president. Do we have any nominations? Mark?
I was waiting for you to call. I would like to nominate Gretchen Olig for the position of president of the board. Gretchen has served in the last year in that same capacity, and I believe that she's led the board in a with great leadership ability. She's been very calm. She's been very thoughtful of everybody's opinions, and I think she would serve us well for another year. So Gretchen Olig is my nomination.
Do we have a second? Brendan? Are any questions, comments? Are we ready for a roll call? Michael Beelan?
Yes.
Mark Friedman?
Yes.
Brendan Gallison?
Yes.
Galligan? Robert Garrison?
Yes.
Gretchen Olig?
Yes.
Peggy Oster?
Yes.
Amy Root?
Yes.
Congratulations, Gretchen. And I will
you.
now turn the meeting over to Gretchen.
Thank you. Mark, thank you for your kind words, and thanks for your continued faith in me. At this point, I'd like to ask if there are any nominations for the office of Vice President. Amy.
I would like to nominate Peggy Oster for the office of Vice President. I think she's done a good job doing it this past year, and she's willing and able to do it again, so she's my nominee.
I will second that nomination. Are there any questions or conversations? We're ready for roll call, Dana?
Michael Beelan?
Yes.
Mark Friedman?
Yes.
Brendan Galligan?
Yes.
Rob Garrison?
Yes.
Gretchen Olig?
Yes.
Peggy Oster?
Yes.
Amy Root?
Yes.
Congratulations, and thank you.
Thank you very much.
So as part of our annual reorganization meeting, we, as board members, are going to acknowledge and reaffirm our obligations and our code of ethics. So the way we have traditionally done this is if we can start, Michael, if you don't mind, with number one, we would each read aloud one of the association code of ethics for school board members, and we'll take turns from there.
Okay. I will uphold and enforce all laws and regulations of the State Board of Education and court orders pertaining to schools. Desired changes should be brought about only through legal and ethical procedures.
I will make decisions in terms of the educational welfare of children and will seek to develop and maintain public schools that meet the individual needs of all children, regardless of their ability, race, creed, sex, or social standing.
I will confine my board action to policy making, planning, and appraisal, and I'll help to frame policies and plans only after the board has consulted consulted those who will be affected by them.
I will carry out my responsibility not to administer the schools, but together with my fellow board members, to see that they are well-run.
I will recognize that authority rests with the Board of Education and will make no personal promises nor take any private action that may compromise the board.
I will refuse to surrender my independent judgment to special interest or partisan political groups, or to use the schools for personal gain or for the gain of friends.
I will hold confidential all matters pertaining to the schools which, if disclosed, would needlessly injure individuals or the schools. In all other matters, I will provide accurate information and, in concert with my fellow board members, interpret to the staff the aspirations of the community for its schools.
Mike?
I will vote to appoint the best qualified personnel available in consideration of the recommendation of the Chief Administrative Officer.
I will support and protect school personnel and proper performance of their duties.
I will refer all complaints to the Chief Administrative Officer and will act on the complaints at public meetings only after failure of an administrative solution.
Thank you. I'd like to ask the board now to consider agenda item number 5 and the reorganization resolutions that were circulated to the board. I believe there are 2 resolutions on the agenda, correct, Dana?
Yes.
So I would move that we adopt those resolutions. Can I have a second, please? Mark, thank you. Any questions, comments? Okay.
Mike Beelan,
Yes.
Mark Friedman,
Yes.
Brendan Galligan,
Yes.
Rob Garrison,
Yes.
Gretchen Olig,
Yes.
Peggy Oster,
Yes.
Charles Ostroff,
Yes.
Amy Root.
Yes.
All right, now for the fun. So we will begin our announcements at the podium. Dr. Dolan, if you'll join me. We seem to be making a habit of this, which is a wonderful thing. I now have the pleasure of inviting our state champion football team. Well, I don't think I'm going to invite you up yet. I think I'm going to invite you up when we call your name, but that's probably the easiest way to hand out the certificates. But I'd like to just say a couple words before we hand them out about the incredible season that you've had. You were undefeated with a record of 12-0. You tied or broke 20 school records. You've amassed a 25-game winning streak over the past 2 years, which is the state's best. You captured the Watchung Division Mid-State 38 Championship. You ranked number 1 for all Group 5 schools in New Jersey, number 1 for the Mid-State 38 Conference, and number 7 in the final NJ.com poll for the entire state. And of course, we all watched with pride at MetLife Stadium on December 3rd as you defeated Bridgewater Raritan for the 2nd consecutive year to become the state champions in North 2 Group 5 Division. So we want to take the opportunity, of course, to congratulate you and your head coach, Mr. DeSarno, all of your coaches, and all the other families and parents, supporters of our state champions. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to come to our meeting so that we can acknowledge you personally. And at this point, we're going to start with the seniors, and we're going to call you. And as you come up, if you could please come up, get your certificate from Dr. Dolan. And then I think the plan is to have you guys all take the stage so that we can get a picture of you at the end. I apologize in advance if I screw up anybody's name. It is not intentional. I'll do my very best. So, starting with our seniors, Kyle Dombrowski. Thomas Fusillo. Ishmael Glasgow. Michael Gagliardi. Jeffrey Gagum. Matt Harris. Ian Humphreys. Jake Kaplan. Ben Kelly. One of the co-captains, Owen Kessler.
What?
Nicholas Marr.
Can I see what? Email? Oh.
Philip Martini. Michael Moriarty. Connor Root. Connor Scanlon. Max Swetchy. Jack Shirk. Kyle Shirk. Brett Spass. William Schwartz. And last but not least, the final senior and other co-captain, Matt Morano. The juniors, Fran Allegrio. Ethan Vandelli. Stephen Barton. Jordan Barnes. Aiden Bolin. Ben Bontempo. Jason Cassett. Chris Culhane. Jacob Dayon. Anthony DeBella. Sean Dwyer. Shay Elliott. Wandre House. Robert Jucknick. Joel Madera. John McCauley. Adam McDaniel. Rory McGovern. Isaac Montez. Jacob Obsgarten. Drew Ortiz. Isaiah Reese. Joe Sangiacomo. Casey Shepper. Peyton Schluett. Jake Valabera. And Russell Weber. And for the sophomores on the team, Fernando Behar. Luke Bigazinski. Sorry. Devin DeRosa. Thomas DeRosa. Marquise Ellerby. Michael Fusilio. Jack Garris. Dylan Howland. Anthony Iacoponi. Corey Kanya. John Kwok. Noah Levy. Matt McIntyre. Tommy Norris. John Osman. Charlie Riley. Jacob Salter. Jordan Simpson. Emmett Smith. And Ethan White. So we all know it takes a lot of energy to practice and perform on the football field, and there are two individuals who make sure that our players have the support that they need. We want to take a moment to say thank you to Priscilla, Rebecca, and Gabe Dayon for providing not only water, but for your loyalty and for being such great fans. So I think Rebecca and Priscilla are here tonight. If you guys could come forward. I know Gabe's not able to be with us, but we'd like to give you certificates for all your support. last but not least, we want to give a big hand to the coaching staff under the most able direction of Coach Jim DeSarno. So if you could come up as well, we're going to give you guys certificates too. So Coach DeSarno and his assistants, Ken Miller, Matt Enzel, Joe Avina, Dave Hancock, Sam Heyman, Owen Brand, Don Dayon, and Don Cassette. If you guys could all come up as well, please. Coach, would you like to say a few words?
Sure.
Take us out.
Sure. I'd like to start by thanking Dr. Dolan, Mrs. Oleg, and the board members for having us tonight. This is a very special group. We're honored to be here. I was honored, and we're honored to have the opportunity to coach such a great group. They represented our school and our community so well throughout the year, so well throughout the last 2 years. Our seniors are a very special group. It's not easy to repeat. It's not easy to be able to have the type of success we've had the last 2 years. And this group of seniors, 21 of them, did a wonderful job of leading us through the highs and the lows. We had a lot of adversity this year through some injuries to some of our seniors, and they were able to keep this team together, keep them focused, and also keep them having a good time. I think the best part about this team is for as much success we had just as much fun through the process. And we're going to miss these seniors, and the sophomores and juniors have some big shoes to fill in the next couple of years. So I'd just like to say thank you very much for having us, and Happy New Year. Thank you.
Did you get all the pictures you wanted? All right, thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Go this way, guys. Go ahead. Go ahead. It's fine.
All right, I think we will continue with more mundane but equally important announcements. Michael, do you have any announcements down at your end?
Yes, I have one announcement from the Westfield High School Performing Arts Department. Congratulations to the Westfield High School choir students who were accepted into the 2017 Regional Chorus. We'd like to congratulate Allison Brown, Charlotte Fontaine-Jardim, Charlotte Geary, Joseph Maldonado, Abby Rothenberg, who scored first place in the AHD2 section, Matthew Cerati, and Laura Sures. These students were chosen out of 800 students who auditioned. They will perform at Monroe High School on February 3rd alongside 200 students from Central New Jersey. It should also be noted that Abby Rothenberg was accepted into the All-Eastern Honor Choir that will be performing in April in Atlantic City at the National Association of Music Educators All-Eastern Convention. What a wonderful accomplishment for all these students.
Charles.
Yes, I do. For Westfield High School. 6 additional top scores were achieved by 4 students on the ACT and SAT standardized tests, widely used for college admission and placement criteria. Their scores were earned in either October or November 2016 by juniors Robert Factor, ACT Science and STEM, and Madison McKenna, ACT English, and seniors Spencer Fishman, ACT Math 2 and Physics, and Griffin Morgan, SAT Math 2. Congratulations to all 4.
We congratulate the second graders in Monica Gundram's class at Tamaqua School for donating 102 sets of new pajamas to the Union County chapter of the pajama program. The recipients of the pajamas are those in shelters, foster homes, hospitals, and the New Jersey Department of Child Protection and Permanency, DIFUS, and Head Start programs around the state. Ms. Gundram explained that this is a great community project for the children to participate in and a way in which they can understand that others are less fortunate.
7 Westfield High School band students were accepted to the 2017 Region Band or Orchestra. The following students also placed first overall in their instrument: Dale Bayert in the Wind Ensemble and Orchestra trumpet, Michael Haug for Wind Ensemble, EB, and BB clarinet, and Brooke Walden, Wind Ensemble and Orchestra, the piccolo and the flute. Also chosen for the Region Band of Orchestra are Austin Chen, Symphonic Band, Matthew Schiff for the Wind Ensemble, Alto, and Bass Clarinet, Sarah Shen for Symphonic Band, Flute, and Daniel Schenker, Symphonic Band, Alto, Saxophone. These 7 students will perform in a region ensemble this month and will be auditioning for All-State on January 21st. We are so very proud of these 7 individuals and are honored that they will be representing our school in a region group this year.
Amy, do you have any announcements?
Free parent education presentations on time management are scheduled in January for all Westfield parents. They will be held at 7 p.m. at Franklin School on Thursday, January 26th, and at Tamaqua School on Tuesday, January 31st. Carol Pedro, a licensed professional counselor at Youth and Family Counseling Service, will offer tips on learning effective time management, including organizing homework and daily routines.
Yes, thank you. I have 2. Helpful information for all parents is available in a newly released Westfield Public School video entitled Resilient School-Age Children, Who Are They and How Do They Get There? How Did They Get There? Based on recent presentations to parents by Westfield Director of Counseling Maureen, and hopefully I'm not butchering this name, Mazaris. The video explores ways to avoid unnecessary anxiety or stress in school-age children and provides helpful tips for parents. To watch the video along with recommended resources such as books and TED Talks, please visit the Parent tab on the Westfield Public Schools website. In special education, the Westfield PTC Special Education Committee is holding a meeting on Wednesday, January 11th in the Library of Edison Intermediate School featuring a presentation entitled Clarity and Collaboration, INRS, IEP, and 504s. For further information, you can email Westfield Special Ed Parents at gmail.com.
I have an announcement that schools will be closed on Monday, January 16th, as I always do. All Westfield public schools and offices will be closed Monday, January 16th, in commemoration of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. On that date, the Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. Association of Westfield will observe its 30th annual Interfaith Commemorative Service at 1 p.m. at Holy Trinity Catholic Church, 315 First Street. The speaker will be Andrew H. Lee of Westfield, who is an associate curator of New York University Libraries, an affiliated faculty member of the NYU Department of History, and an author. The theme this year is Bridging the Divide. The student winners of the essay, poetry, and art contests will be announced at the ceremony. Marchers will assemble at the Martin Luther King Monument on the South Avenue Circle to proceed to Holy Trinity at 12:30.
Meeting will be held on Tuesday, January 24th at 7:30 p.m. in the boardroom at 302 Elm Street, and the complete agenda will be available on our website on Friday, January 20th. So we're going to move, do you have any, I'm sorry, do you have any? Okay. At this point, I'd like to recognize the public for any agenda items. Seeing no one come to the podium. Yeah, it's difficult to see, but I don't hear anyone coming either. So I would like to ask the board to approve the minutes of the board meeting held on December 6, 2016, and the private minutes of the same date. Can I have a second, please? Mark, thank you. All in favor? Aye. Any abstentions? Actually, I have to abstain, Dana, or I was not there that day. Oh, I will. Okay. Anybody else? All right, then we'll move right into the meat of it. Personnel, Mark.
I'd like the board to consider personnel items 1 through 20.
It's actually 19, Mark. I gave you the wrong information.
Okay,
It's
so
not 1
I'd
through 19.
like the board to consider personnel items 1 through 19. Second, please. Second. Robert, thank you. Any questions or comments? Please.
Personnel item was handed in rather late because we got a last-minute resignation, but for a very good reason. Our former supervisor of world language, his name is David Greer, Dr. David Greer, and he has worked for us both as a teacher and supervisor of world languages. He's been on loan to the New Jersey Department of Education for the past year and a half and was intending on coming back. However, the Department of Education and the State Board of Education just yesterday appointed him as the Director of Academics for the entire state of New Jersey. And with that promotion, he has submitted his resignation and will be, since he's already been working down there on loan, he'll be starting next week actually as the Director of Academic Education for the state of New Jersey. So we'll miss having David here, but we're glad he's going to be helping the entire state.
Okay, that's it. Dana?
Mike Beelan?
Yes.
Mark Friedman?
Yes.
Brendan Galligan?
Yes.
Robert Garrison?
Yes.
Gretchen Oleg?
Yes.
Peggy Oster?
Yes.
Charles Ostroff?
Yes.
Amy Root?
Yes.
That's all for personnel.
Great. Facilities, Brendan.
No report tonight. We do have a meeting tomorrow morning, and minutes will circulate after that.
Range planning. I assume that there's no report as we have a new chair of our long-range planning committee. No, I just, do you know when the next, is there another
No.
meeting on the
Oh,
agenda?
wait, I'll tell you. I know. I don't think there's one on the calendar at the moment. I have up through February 21st, so we'll have to get a date on the calendar.
Okay, great. Policies. In Chris's absence, I would like to ask the board to consider policy items 1 through 4. Can I have a second, please? Peggy, thank you. Does anybody have any questions about the policies that are on for first reading, second reading, or that have been moved to be abolished? I know that Chris is pretty good about circulating notes. Okay, roll call.
Mike Beelan?
Yes.
Mark Friedman?
Yes.
Brendan Galligan?
Yes.
Rob Garrison?
Yes.
Gretchen Oleg?
Yes.
Peggy Oster?
Yes.
Charles Ostroff?
Yes.
Amy Root?
Yes. And then I'd like to ask the board to consider policy item number 5, to affirm the superintendent's decisions on HIB incident 17 R03, EO4, EO5, and EO6 for the reasons set forth therein. Can I have a second, please? Amy, thank you. Dana?
Mike Beelan?
Yes.
Mark Friedman?
Yes.
Brendan Galligan?
Yes.
Rob Garrison?
Yes.
Gretchen Oleg?
Yes.
Peggy Oster?
Yes.
Charles Ostroff?
Yes.
Amy Root?
Yes. I don't have anything further on policies. Curriculum, instruction, and program, I would like to ask the board to consider items 1 through 3. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Robert. Any questions on the curriculum that's there, either for first or second reading or the district field trips that we're approving? Amy, I got your note about the cover sheet for the sequential arts, and you're right, the grades are wrong. So we'll make sure that's corrected, but it is a high school course, yeah. Okay, Dana.
Mike Beelan?
Yes.
Mark Friedman?
Yes.
Brendan Galligan?
Yes.
Rob Garrison?
Yes.
Gretchen Oleg?
Yes.
Peggy Oster?
Yes.
Charles Ostroff?
Yes.
Amy Root?
Yes. Nothing further. We have a meeting later this month. I don't know off the top of my head when it is. Finance, Mark.
Yeah, hang on. Ooh, let's see. Sorry. I'd like the board to consider finance items 1 through 13. Can I get a second?
Second?
Robert, thank you. Just a couple of comments, if I may. There were a few gifts on this one. We'd like to accept a gift of $5,900 from the Westfield Baseball League towards the Ederson Intermediate School Junior Varsity Baseball Field renovations. We'd also like to accept a gift of $725 from the Westfield Coalition for the Arts to purchase a Wenger bass rack for the Westfield High School Orchestra. And then also, we'd like to accept a gift of $3,546 also from the Westfield Coalition for the Arts to purchase 3 new Yamaha double French horns for the Edison Intermediate School Music Department. Thank you to everyone for those. Any other comments or questions? Dana?
Michael Beelan?
Yes.
Mark Friedman?
Yes.
Brendan Galligan?
Yes.
Rob Garrison?
Yes.
Gretchen Oleg?
Yes.
Peggy Oster?
Yes.
Charles Ostroff?
Yes.
Amy Root?
Yes.
And we are scheduled for a Finance Committee meeting on Friday, January 13th. If anything changes, we'll let you know. Dana, we should just talk about agenda and whether we need the meeting.
Great. Technology, Peg.
I don't have any report. The December meeting was postponed, and we will be meeting January 27th.
I'd like to ask the board to note the notes for the record and to ask if we have any unfinished business. Any new business that we need to discuss? Liaison reports. Hopefully today you should have received by email the updated committee list and liaison assignments. I think I had the opportunity to confirm with everybody that they're comfortable with where they are, but if we need to make changes, certainly let me know. I'll just reiterate, since we're officially starting a new year, that if you can't make a meeting, let the chair know and also let the alternate know so we can try and make sure that we have our committee meetings fully attended at all times, and certainly for the liaison assignments as well. If you can't make an assignment, reach out and see if we can get somebody to go in your place. Does anybody have any liaison reports tonight? Yeah, oh, you do, great.
I was just going to mention one thing, because Peggy and I were speaking about it earlier today, that there's been sort of a development with, that was kind of spearheaded by the PTC. The different PTOs at the schools, it had been brought to their attention that a lot of their constituents had not been receiving newsletters from the PTOs. And there was an issue that was going on with certain, I guess, email providers being blocked, and some of our information having trouble getting to people. And it really kind of came to a head through the newsletter chain of command, I guess, or chain of communication. And so there was a meeting back in December with Brian Ocker and some members of his staff to explore some alternate routes for how to get around this and how to fix things. And I think we're pretty close to getting an answer with a different solution on behalf of the entire district, which is great. So just worthy of mention. So it didn't come out because of the PTC meeting in December, because they didn't have one in December, but their next meeting is January 19th. So when we next meet, I'll have some more details for you on that. But
Great.
just thought it was.
Has that impacted the syllabus as well, the delivery of the synopsis? What did I say, the syllabus? No? Oh, good, okay. All right, that's great, though. I know I had heard that through different channels as well, so I'm glad that that's going to get resolved. Any other liaison reports? I'll recognize the public for any questions or comments. Again, seeing no one, I'd like to ask the board to approve the following resolution. Resolve that the Board of Education move into private session for the purpose of discussing an appeal, legal matters, negotiations, and harassment, intimidation, and bullying incidents, and be it further resolved that any discussion held by the board which need not remain confidential, and the results of the discussion will be made public as soon as practicable. Can I have a second, please? Charles, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? So we are moving into private session. I think we're going to move into room 120, right? And there you go. Dana took my thing. Now I have to give it back.